Okay, good morning, good afternoon. I want to start moving on to two-step equations. So I have a math problem up here, and some of you guys can already tell me what x is. You can tell me what x is, to solve for x. So they're always going to be like solve for x, solve for x. And a lot of kids don't know what x is doing, so let's do a little bit of review. Kids, x is like when you ask somebody a question, and so here's a math problem. This is 3 times x equals 12. We've already done this one in a previous video. So because 3 is multiplying x, you really have 3 times a number that we don't know is equal to 12. And that's why kids can understand that x has to be 4 without doing any thinking. Okay, this was part of our one-step equations. So I always start with this one. I've always started with this one because I think kids can figure out what x is. You guys are going to come up with a number that multiplies 2, and then you're going to add 1 to it, and you got to have 5. And so I think you guys can see that x is equal to 2, and that is the answer by just using your common sense. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. Okay? And so just want to show you guys one of the things I'm doing now is I'm telling the kids that this is a scale. You know, a scale that balances. If it's heavy on one side, it goes like that. If it's heavy on the other side, it goes like that. And so this is an equation, and every equation has to balance. And so if I have 5 pounds on the right, I need 5 pounds over here also. I need 5 on both sides. And so x has to be 2, because if x is 2, I now have 2 times 2 plus 1, and that gives me 5 pounds on both sides. Once the kids understand that these equations have to balance, I can now do the process that I want you guys to be able to handle. Okay, so the process is, how do I get this x by itself? Because that's what teachers are always trying to do. They're trying to get the letter x by itself. And it's a two-step process. Sort of like a dance move. I started doing these dance moves, like what are the dance moves that will get this x by itself? And so I do a little dancing in front of the class to get the kids to pay attention. But the first step would be to move that 1 and get rid of it by doing the opposite of adding, which is subtracting. If you subtract 1 on the left and you subtract 1 on the right, you now have 2x equals 4. And the second step, two-step equations, is to get rid of multiplication by dividing. And the kid's like, Gomes, I already knew it was 2. I'm like, I know, but I need you to know the steps. So let me pause it, put a little harder problem up here so that we can go through the steps. So let's take a look at one a little bit more difficult. Okay, so here's a problem that you might not be able to do in your head, where you just try to what number times 3 plus 2 equals negative 10? That's where the process comes in. So I always put this line under here so that I know I'm going to balance the equation. I'm going to solve for x. And so this is a two-step process where we need to get rid of the 2 by doing the opposite of add 2, which is subtract 2. Now when you come over here, you need to understand that we have 2 negatives. And if you don't remember what we did when we add 2 negatives, you owe me $10, you owe me $2. It means you owe me $12. I hope that makes sense. And then we got the 3 times this number that we don't know is equal to negative 12. And that's why Mr. Gomes wants to divide the 3 on the left, and I want to divide the 3 on the right. And now I get 1x, and I don't need the 1 anymore. And so what is negative 12 divided by 3? And if you don't remember that, we need to do some reviewing too. And you get the answer of negative 4. And then I remember my teachers back in junior high, they used to make me plug it back in. Nobody does that anymore. Where you take this answer and you put it right here and you have to do some more math. I don't want you guys to have to do that, but it works if you're checking your work, but everybody's got photo math now. So what is 3 times negative 4? Or negative 12. What's negative 12 plus 2? You're supposed to subtract negative 10? Hey, it checks out. So I taught you one-step equations, adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. And now we need to get good at these two-step equations. So I'm going to put a couple of problems up here and see if we can quickly go through them. Okay, I decided that the video is getting too long, so we're going to cut it off here. We'll make another video with some more practice problems, and hopefully you guys watch the next video. Thank you.